Paxton, what was involved in putting Kansas State behind you and shifting the focus to Lindenwood? Was it difficult, or how quick did you do it? What was your mindset in doing that?
I think ultimately Coach Tuke handled it, greatly. He said, our season starts now. He said, that's a big game. We had lots of aspirations to compete and play well at a big stage, but ultimately that has, no indication on the season we want to have. So he just put it to bed quick, and the team just followed that.
Were there emotions tonight, playing in a renovated stadium on new turf, all that? Talk a little bit about your excitement for this opportunity.
Yeah, I was super excited. I didn't know really what to expect. Right when I got here, I've only played with half a stadium, so it was my first time. And Cape comes to watch football. That was sweet. The town came and supported us. That was one of the most fun games I've ever played in my life, and I was so grateful for the fans and the experience.
Okay. Now, I know Lindenwood was competitive with you guys last year. It was a close game late. I thought it was going to be a competitive game tonight. You realize you just sent a message to the rest of the Big South OVC with that score. They're going to see that score, and that's going to put a target on your back. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, being ranked, the only team ranked in the OVC Big South right now, we already have a target, defending champs. So I think, that's not going to add into it as much as, you might think, just because everyone's already expecting that from us. And for the Lindenwood rivalry, we just want to put it to bed that it's really not one until they win one. So we wanted to send that message to them.
You lose Ryan for the second half. You got to rely a lot on DeMaurier and some other guys. How does that affect what you want to do with Ryan out of the picture? Because obviously you go to him a lot if he's there. Yeah,
we got a lot of playmakers though, so they stepped up big time. That's all you ask for, and we have no idea. Ryan will probably be back next week, but Vic played big time, so that's always good. And then to see, Dalen went out the first possession of the game. He was going to start on the other side, so then we had other guys step up, like Dede. Kyron had that big post that got called back. Clint came in and did, a great job in the slot. So I feel really good about our playmakers.
Okay, I got 24 more now.
I was saying, you mentioned turning the page quickly following the opener. To come here, free focus at home, and play well in front of this crowd. You guys go into halftime with a 30-plus point lead. Is that kind of the way you envision this game going? Yeah,
I think that's really what we did envision. We had a great preparation. The offense had a great week, and I'm sure the defense did, and obviously they did. So, to come out and then, be up 38-0 at half and have a defensive score, some good special teams play and dominating the offensive end, that was really what we expected. And I was really proud with the fourth quarter because, we gave up a touchdown and we made sure that we weren't going to lose the second half. So that was big time to see that out of the guys that came in and played.
Did you feel some steam coming off? Second half, you only scored once compared to the first half. You feel?
Yeah, it was definitely, disappointing. I missed a big throw to Dede. He ran a great route, and then we had the penalty call it back, and another penalty call a touchdown. So that's what kind of hurt us in K-State. We were in first and 20s a lot with penalties, so we got to make sure to clean that up. And it's my job as a quarterback to make sure I send that message to the rest of the team.
Coming into the week, you see that trophy right there. Obviously, you guys spoke about it. You knew about it. How important was it to make this rivalry a thing and now win this 2 years in a row?
I told the team, I know it's a big thing for, it's local proximity rivalry, but right now it's not a competitive one. And I don't know if they want me to say that or not, but it's really not yet. So until they do that, we wanted to send that message that it's going to be hard for them to ever see this.
I saw you hoisting that up on the bench there after the win. Obviously, next week you'll play for another one, a little more important in the War for the Wheel. What do you know about that rivalry, and what's it like considering, you faced SIU last year? Yeah,
last year was a battle, back and forth the whole game, and they're a really good team. I think they're 2-0. I think they beat NIU this week, so, they're going to be a really great team, and a good task, and it's going to be amplified even more. It's going to be a night game, how they're going to travel well, rivalry. It's got a lot of implications for playoffs, too, so, it's a big-time game, and both teams are going to have to play their best.
Every program plays for something. The War for the Wheel obviously resonates big time with this program. How important is that one next week?
Yeah, we always say if you don't beat your rivalry, you can't have a big season. So it's huge for us to win that game. We have a spot in the locker room for it, for the trophy to stay. So that you can tell it's very important to our program.
And offensively, what impressed you, maybe what didn't impress you?
The O-line. We asked them to step up, and they did. I was very proud of that. And, they had big holes. It was making where any running back come in and run the ball. Obviously, Gino featured and ran the ball hard very well. And pass protect great, so I was able to make me look good, You don't have a high completion percentage if they're not giving you all the time in the world. So I felt really good about what they did today.
Paxton, talk about that moment at the end. You guys get to hoist the trophy up on the benches, just with everybody going nuts in the fan section right behind you.
Yeah, to see the student section there, it was big time. I know Coach Blackman did a good job of, revamping that this year. We wanted to have a student section that really cared. They did a great job with tailgating. And to see, I felt like there was probably 600, 700 students there. That was big time, and just to be able to go over there and then seeing the alma mater, you know, was big time just for SEMO in general. So I really loved that.
Obviously, the heat of the game, the first half, probably not something you were looking at. But second half, when you guys were in control a little bit, did you ever have a moment to just kind of look around and take it in of the stadium after last year not having it?
Yeah, I think right after I got done saying my prayer at the beginning of the game, I looked up and I was like, wow, like this is amazing. You know, God bless that this happened. And then the fourth quarter, when you're looking, you're just like, man, everyone's still here. Like people weren't leaving; they were still, you know, staying there. I got to see my family, and it was just great to see everybody there.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
And then I just got a couple questions. Just for you guys to come out, you were up 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. Was it like a focus of we need to come out and establish momentum early in the game?
Yeah, you know, we definitely wanted to come out that. And then with the first kickoff, I mean, they took one of our players out. You know, definitely there was a message of, ooh, like, gosh, we got to send the message right back. And I think we did a very good job of that. And then we just wanted to keep, you know, the cliche, you know, your foot on their throat or, you know, the pedal on the metal, just keep it going. Because, you know, last year it was a ball game, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't one.
And then lastly, for last week's rushing struggles, how glad were you to just see you guys be able to once again establish your dominance on the ground? Yeah,
I can't praise the O-line enough. You know, we made a couple switches, and those guys came up big. You know, their first ever time playing here. And I know we had 3 guys play tackle today, and they all played very well. So I can't, you know, appreciate those guys. And, you know, the inside with Gig, Six, and Clive, those are some really good football players. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. They played good last week too, and to see the tackles and tight ends step up and contribute in the run game, it was big time. So that's gonna make my life easier.
I just got one. I think you're a part of the team over there, going down there. But what is your mentality going to a game? And better yet, what do you want as a leader, your team's mentality to be going through this year?
Yeah, I want us to be great preparation and focused. I think that's key. You know, if we're prepared and we're focused, we're going to be a hard team to beat. And we got to respect the process. Every team's good. Every team wants us. We're going to get their best, so we got to be ready to go and, you know, take care of their bodies physically as well, because that, you know, if you're out here cramping or whatever, you're not going to be able to play good.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank y'all. God bless.
I guess, Henry, we'll get the easiest one out of the way first. Walk us through the play of the pick six.
I mean, we all seen it on film because, like, me and Coach, we watch film every day, like almost every day, just prepping, getting ready to play for Saturday. And then, like, we had seen a play like that, I think, versus Central Arkansas, but their cornerback had dropped it, so I had to capitalize off that because I know that quarterback going to be looking for that same route. So everything was on film.
What was it like for you playing first game at Hawk Stadium, the new Hawk Stadium, I should say?
It was amazing, like, because last night we had the team, we had seen the Golden Knights. They had performed for us, so we was already broken into it, and we've been practicing there. So having the crowd support us and the alumni was amazing.
Defense, 2 interceptions today. We saw it during the spring game. You guys had 4 picks. Obviously, you mentioned, you know, being more of a ball hawk this year for that secondary. I mean, how have you guys kind of maybe talked about that and maybe put some action to it this year?
Every day, Coach tells us, every day, plus 2 in the turnover margin, plus 2. And then that's how you win championships. Defense, always plus 2 in the turnover margin. So we've been practicing that every day.
Tonight you win this nice shiny trophy. What's it like to keep this one here for another year?
It's amazing. I mean, we been preparing all week for it, so it feels good to actually get it successfully. So.
How much talk was there that, hey, it's the start of a new rivalry, the trophy's going to be in town? I mean, obviously playing for that this week along with the win, right?
I mean, we wasn't really talking with them for real because we knew we was going to go out there and handle business. So, like, we let them do all the talking. We just went out there and performed.
And now, you know, you won rivalry tonight. Next week, you know, the arch rivals in SIU, you guys know them well. You know, what is it about that matchup that maybe excites both towns?
I mean, it's a battle for the will, but personally, I feel like it's the same thing for us. We're going to work hard all week, and we're going to go out there and perform. We're not going to do no talking.
A lot of people will watch Ryan and DeMaurier and Dalen when he's healthy, and last year Johnny, and say, wow, those DBs have to struggle to cover all those guys. But you have to face those guys every single day in practice, and I don't think anybody ever looks at it that way. How does having to deal with Ryan and DeMaurier and others, how does that affect you and your ability to cover other teams' receivers?
Them guys really help us get better for real. They help us get turnovers. So going against Ryan every day and then going against other team receivers, it's like I've been going against Ryan, Vic, and Dalen, like you said, so I'll be prepared for the week.
when you watch, like early on, they were just going to Ryan, and then they mixed it in with DeMaria, and like there was really nothing Lindenwood could do. Do you ever watch on the sidelines and like, man, those DBs, they got no chance against these guys?
I mean, we prepared them all week, so I kind of expect them to go out there and perform.
Okay.
What does this win mean for you guys moving forward?
We ready to work. We going brick by brick, and it's just a single brick, and we got to go to the next.
In terms of momentum, though, how important was it to win here tonight, given what happened in the season opener?
It was very important. We had a stadium opener. All the alumni was out to support us. We had all the fans out. So it was a big momentum boost for us.
All right, and then for you guys to go out there and come this close to shutting out a team that scored 77 last week, what do you think you guys put on them to make them struggle so much?
The scout team helped us prepare all week, so we was seeing looks from them and then watching film on top of that. So we was really, and the coaches helped us prepare well, so that will help.
And another one here. Just take it back into that moment where you're up on the bench there, putting your arms out, just taking in that new stand that just got built. What was that like for you, man?
I had to enjoy the new stadium, enjoy the new bleachers and stuff. It was filled. I was like, why not?
Yes, sir.
Just going off that, take me through one more time, that pick six. You get it, you know you had it. At what point did you realize, hey, I can take this to the house?
As soon as I caught it, I knew I was going to the crib for sure.
Just instant, or?
Yeah, like I knew it was going.
You weren't worried about getting caught?
No, I was like, I gotta score this.
Thanks.
All right.
Congrats on the win, man.
Thanks. Coach, just opening statement on the game and your thoughts on such a convincing win and such an important game.
Yeah, I mean, it was important in a lot of ways. You know, of course, it's the conference opener, but really it was way bigger than that. You know, to reopen Houck like that is just exactly what you want. There's just been so much work done. You know, I want to give Brady and his staff a credit. I mean, they've been working right up to the time, and you know, we're doing all this stuff, and they're putting tables together and all these things to make something like this happen. But then the community showed up. But you know, obviously my back's to that, most of it. So I was looking at the student section, and the student section was rocking. And so I'm not sure how that compared to other times or whatever. I noticed it, which is kind of hard to do, to get me to not, for me to see it. So that was impressive. You know, we practiced angry. We coached angry. I think you were at a practice that was a little salty.
Yeah.
And we played angry today, and, you know, it kind of showed.
Why is that?
We were just disappointed, you know. Not that we lost. We probably knew that was happening. It was just how we lost. We didn't play well, and, you know, it's important. And so when you don't play well, don't coach well, you know, you don't want that to happen again.
How do you balance focusing on Lindenwood and not dwelling on Kansas State? It can't be Thursday and you're still talking about Kansas State, is it?
No, I mean, I think where I'm starting to grow as a coach is really, you know, I got to be thinking SEMO all the time. You know, we're in the past, like even last year, I made it all about Lindenwood because I don't like them.
Okay.
And that's not what you should do. And so, you know, even this week, you know, we got SIU, but, you know, that's fool's gold to think like that. You know, the best chance for us to beat SIU is to play well. And so our focus still has to be on SEMO. What are we doing well? What do we got to improve on, and kind of shake out this identity a little bit too.
A lot of positives tonight, but Ryan's left arm injury. What's the story on that?
Broken hand.
So
He'll be out.
Out indefinitely?
Well, I don't think it's season ending. They'll have surgery on it, put a pin in there. This is what I'm being told, but obviously they got to get in there and kind of check it all out. But he'll be out this weekend.
And Bryce
had got an MRI, and so he has a torn labrum and he's got a sprained AC joint. They feel like he'll be able to play this year, get the surgery at the end of the year. And so we're trying to get the swelling out and the pain reduced down. So he would be, you know, we're trying to play him this week, but I don't know what the verbiage they use, you know, just kind of see how it goes.
Okay. Adam Heston, obviously out for the year after playing one game in his career and having a really, really good game. How frustrating, disappointing. I know that's just part of football, but God, that hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid wanted this so bad, and really not even for himself. Like, he wanted to be that piece for this team, and came in and started at average and willed himself into a pretty good punter and was having a great year. And those are hard to see, hard to watch. I mean, it was a complete compound fracture, like a bad thing. He didn't have to have a rod. He hasn't had that surgery with it now, so glad. And his parents are here. And, you know, he's tough. You know, this is the thing about life and about football and all those things is life doesn't get easier. It's that you get better at doing hard things. It's terrible, but, you know, there's going to be other broken legs in life, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to get phone calls. You're going to be a dad. You're going to, you know, all these type of things. And so, you know, he'll be stronger for it.
Now, every coach will say, well, we're worried about ourselves. We don't pay attention to other teams. But you all look at the scoreboard. And that scoreboard tonight is going to resonate throughout the rest of the Big South OVC Football Association. And you realize that, so you realize what other people are going to think of SEMO football when they see what you just did to Lindenwood, because Lindenwood's a good team. Lindenwood's going to be able to do some things this year. And what you just did to them sent a message to the association, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're sneaking up on many people at this point in life. I think they know when we roll into town, you know, you need to be ready.
Okay.
Coach, you go into that halftime locker room with a 30-plus point lead. I mean, is this exactly how, you know, I guess a perfect start with the new stadium and everything?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed in the penalties, and we had a taunting penalty. You know, and that's coaching. That's on me. You know, I'm doing a bad job with that. Other than that, we had some missed tackles, so I'm not exactly sure. I have to watch the film. There was some missed tackling that wasn't against K-State, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But those are the two, when we get done, that I need to check out and see what happened there.
Other than that, though, exactly how you scripted the game plan?
Yeah, got after it. We wanted to run the ball, get the ball in our playmaker hand. We were playing really aggressive and physical and, you know, almost mean, which is what you want.
Told me on Tuesday it was your idea to create this trophy for this rivalry. Now that you guys get to keep it here, I mean, how much talk was there in the locker room this week of, hey, it's not just another game. This is a game and we're playing for something.
Yeah, we're building a rivalry. We talk about it. They did an unbelievable job on the trophy. So did you guys see it's got a base that's really, really nice. You know, it's not just that, but you know, and we're doing things the right way, and both programs are you know, this, who knows what 20 years from now, right? And I'm sure Lindenwood, they're really well coached, and it won't be long before they get going here a little bit.
Tonight you play for this. Next week you play for the Wheel. Every program plays for something. Why is that game, you know, why did that game take both regions to a whole other level?
You know, it's just the history, right? I don't think SIU respected SEMO. I mean, they were like, you know, for quite a while, you know, which is why I wanted to make it a trophy game, you know, and I wanted it to be like, hey, something. And now it is, right? Like, that community's fired up, this community's fired up, and look what we get. We get 2 top 15 teams that are an hour away. Like, I mean, you can't even script it any better than that, you know. And so you're just excited, happy, and just looking forward to that opportunity.
An extra edge for you, considering your ties to that program? Or?
Yeah, you bet. There's ties. I love Nick Hill. You know, I don't get to be friends with him, you know, but the respect there has always been there as a competitor, and, you know, he's, you know, done a great job. I think the scores surprised me just on their defense. You know, they've been playing great defense, and so, you know, see why that's the case. But we knew they'd be good. I mean, they were a couple games from going to playoffs again last year, so we know what we're getting into.
Coach, you said the focus this week was just on SEMO. Obviously, you're doing some scout video. I'm curious how much of a role Cade Brister had in the scout for this week, considering he played and obviously started for them last year.
he was just like everybody, had a role, did his role and did a good job. There was some intel and some info that he would share, but it was pretty minimal, I would think. Nowadays with technology and film and everything, there's not a lot of surprises, But you might get like hey, this player doesn't do this well, that you may not know, so some of that is, but, the score wasn't because of Kate Brister's intel.
Yeah, I was just curious if he has any, like, hidden cards he was pulling out for you guys. But I know you mentioned that it's hard for you to see the stands with your back to him most of the game, but was there a point maybe running on the field when you got to just see how for the first time with the new part of it filled up that you were just like, wow, this is something special?
Yeah. I wrote on my game plan, hey, be in the moment, because that's not what you normally do. You're worried about winning, and so even with like Adam's injury helped me, because life's so fragile, and if you don't take time to just appreciate the moments that we're in, right, you let this day, this night go away without truly appreciating it. And I'm obviously not a sentimental guy, but like it is very rewarding, very just thankful, I look up there and people are just generally having fun, and it's college football here, and there's a time that I didn't even know if that was ever going to happen,
Thanks, Coach.
Paxton told us, strong question, but Paxton told us, I guess, coming into this one that, you mentioned being in the moment and all that stuff, and he basically said that you guys basically said tonight was your season opener, kind of discounted the opener. How did you go about getting your team to discount that first game and kind of lock in on who you guys normally would face?
A pretty mature team. It was, all right, here's our takeaways from K-State. Now let's move forward. And so they're right now, they're pretty easy to coach. They want to do well, and they just want to understand what it is we got to focus on.
All right, Coach, last week you talked about how much you've been preaching turnovers. Obviously, you had a couple interceptions and pick six, didn't turn the ball over on offense. How impressed were you with your guys this week?
If we could keep that up, we may not lose. Like, people don't think that's it. Like, if you go +3, you win like 96% of your games in the NFL, and there's not the big, like, it's a stat that just means everything. So, I mean, if we could continue to do that, we're going to have a great season.
And then for Lindenwood, they put up 77 last week. How impressed were you guys? How impressed were you with your guys that they were able to hold them to 7?
Very impressed. Had a really nice outing. Turned them over. I thought we defended the run better. Like I said, the only thing on defense that was a little concerning was a couple of missed tackles, and so we'll see why that was happening.
And yeah, Paxton touched on it earlier, but what do you want your mentality to be and brand for your football team to be going forward this year and, of course, years to come?
I mean, I just want to have an impact on my players. I want our, like we had a bunch of alum coming back, and I want 20 years from now Paxton come back with, gaggle of kids and a wife and big smile and, crushing it at life, So that's what we want that to be, and we want to build a top 25 program, have top 25 facilities, and we want to do all this. But it ain't driving a bus. Developing young people is driving the bus, as long as I'm here.
How does tonight's win give you guys some confidence moving forward?
They don't need confidence. You go down there, they think they could beat the Giants.
How about your coaching staff? Does it give the coaching staff any sense of pride or motivation that, hey, week one's behind us, week two, we're back in business, got the win?
Yeah, I think we were just, didn't like what we put out there, like as coaches. We couldn't run the ball, we couldn't stop the run, and it hurt you a little bit. And so I think we, and we just wanted to make sure, this O-line thing's, real. So we just wanted to see what that was going to look like. And, I think as coaches, they did a really good job with them this week.
Coach, late in the game, when it's a wide margin like this, how do you balance playing your starters and taking them out? Because as a fan, I'm sitting there, it's 38-7 or whatever it was, and all I can envision is Paxton DeLorean getting his knee blown out. And like, so how do you balance like when to pull guys and when not to pull guys? Or do you look at it like it's early in the season, guys need reps?
Yeah, I mean, it's conditioning and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, it's complicated, but I don't make fear-based decisions. Like, you can't make a decision on fear that someone might get hurt because no one has a crystal ball, and that's a terrible way to live life. You know, so it's kind of just depends on where things are at. You know, we probably pulled Paxton a series late at K-State, you know, but I think today was good, you know, and they need to feel what it likes to play. We'll be in a fourth quarter game coming up, you know, all the stuff that kind of goes into it. And every position's different.
And a positive, like, you want to give some of those younger, like Patrick, you want to give him some reps.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he got a lot of reps last year by necessity. And so I would think not a fear-based decision, but a positive, like, hey, let's get some young guys in there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we played several true freshmen, even on the D-line today. Yeah, there's lots of guys that got to play, and they played well.
Okay.
You touched on a moment ago that the SIU rivalry big here. How important is it to pack the stadium and maybe, I don't know, fit more people in than you did tonight? I
think it'll be packed. I think they'll travel well, and so I think this will be, you know, I mean, hype is a thing. Like, I don't know how there could be more hype for a game for this one, right? Like, I think it'll be as big as it's been, and they'll be talking and all the stuff that you want it to have happen. We just can't get distracted by it. You know, that's for you guys to talk about and all this stuff, and we just need to, you know, lock in.
Last question from us. Came into the game one time, came back, and then was kind of living off the field. What's the status on Gino? Is he okay? Just maybe strained his hamstring or something like that?
Well, he's got a bruised ego. Okay, because I yelled at him because he cramped. You know why you cramp? Because you don't believe in preparation. You cramp because you didn't properly hydrate and do the things you need to do to make sure your team, if you need him in a fourth quarter game, we're in trouble. We played last week in 100-degree weather. It was 70, and he cramped because there was a lack of discipline and focus on the little things.
So no further injury rather than just cramping?
Yeah, and an ass chewing.
What did you tell the team in the locker room a couple minutes ago before you came up here?
I told them, what did I tell them? Good job. Like, you should enjoy this win. You get 24 hours, be smart. We're trying to win a wheel. And I said, when I get home tonight with Miss Lena, I'm going to break out the Hyena Max and see how she likes it.
We'll ask you about that next week.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.